Good day, everyone. Today, we will be discussing in our subject Organization and Administration in Physical Therapy is Equipment, Utilities, and Communication Systems. Now, kung titingnan natin, so again, this is an administrative topic. Hindi ito ganun ka-clinical, but actually, this topic is very important because everything we do as physical therapists depends on the systems that surrounds us, 'di ba? So hindi ka makakapagbigay ng effective treatment kung number one, syempre walang kuryente, mali ang layout, and walang communication system. Okay? So today, I want you to think that not just as students, but as future clinic managers and decision makers, ito yung mga bagay na kailangan po nating i-consider, okay, pag nagtatrabaho na po kayo in a real clinical setting or kung gusto nyo magtayo ng sarili nyong physical therapy clinic in the future. By the end of this lecture, you should be able to, number one, classify physical therapy equipment. Number two, describe yung mga essential utilities. And number three is to explain the communication system na ginagamit within the department or within the organization. So this is very simple lang, but I want you to go beyond memorization. So habang nagle-lecture ako dito, isipin nyo na paano ko ba gagamitin in real life as a physical therapist itong dinidiscuss ni Doc. Okay? Kasi nga, again, one day you will be the one who will decide ano equipment ang bibilhin, okay, paano yung layout ng clinic, and paano natin masisigurado yung safety ng inyong mga patients. So, let us start with the big picture. Okay? So, ang isang PT department, ito ay isang system. Okay? It has equipments, utilities, communication systems, and of course, the physical layout. Okay? So, we have to think of it like the human body. Na if one system fails, everything will be affected. Okay? So, for example, electricity or yung phone lines, communication lines, so most likely, the services that you are providing will be affected. Okay? So, for example, let's imagine meron kayong patient. Yung stroke patient nyo na ambulatory training, nandun kayo sa gym, okay, biglang nawalan ng kuryente. Okay? So, what will happen? Possibly, kung yung area ng gym ay walang windows, most likely, didilim, 'di ba? Kung walang kuryente. Magiging unsafe yung environment, yung gym, yung ginagalawan nyo, pinagte-trainingan nyo ng patient, will be unsafe. Okay? Also, the treatment will be disrupted. Instead na tuloy-tuloy kayo, mapapatigil kayo with your treatment kasi unsafe yung environment na ginagalawan ninyo. Diba? Paano kung in the middle of the training, hindi mo bantay si patient, like supervision lang, visual supervision lang, nagvo-verbal commands ka lang, biglang nawalan ng kuryente, dumilim. What if nahulog yung patient, nadapa? Diba? Hindi natin alam kung anong pwedeng mangyari. Paano kung yung phone lines, yung communication system is wala rin? Paano ka tutulong? Paano ka tatawag ng tulong? Okay? So, it is very important na everything is properly planned. Okay? Kaya, again, this topic is also important kasi, again, we are not just treating. Okay? Aside from treating, we want to ensure a safe environment for our patients. Okay? So, keep that in mind habang nagle-lecture tayo. Ito yung pinaka-essence ng lecture na ito. So, let's go to equipments. Basically, there are two types, the fixed equipment and the movable equipment. So, tingnan mo na lang na sa pangalan, di ba? Fixed equipment, so it is attached to the building. Nakakabit ito dun sa mismong physical layout ng inyong clinic. Okay? It can be installed during construction or kahit after construction mo na siya ikinabit. Basta it is fixed. Okay? Nakakabit. While yung movable equipments, usually, ito yung mga portable equipments, okay? Hindi siya permanently naka-attach dun sa building. Okay? The easiest way to remember, again, pag fixed, hindi mo siya basta-basta pwedeng igalaw or i-move from one place to another place. Okay? While the movable, pwede mo siyang ipalipat-lipat. Okay? So, let us apply this topic of about the equipments. So, the first is the fixed equipments, which is the parallel bar. Makikita nyo dito sa upper right image of this slide. Okay, kung saan the physical therapist is assisting a patient to walk or to ambulate inside the parallel bars. Okay, so makikita nyo naman that the parallel bars is fixed to the floor. Okay, hindi siya basta-basta na igagalaw. And also is a hydrotherapy tank, which is built in na rin po siya, although hindi siya talaga naka-attach dun sa flooring nung mismong ng building, pero it is very impossible na basta-basta mo na lang siya maitulak, diba? Okay, so these are essential tools for mga stroke rehabilitation, spinal cord injury, or generally yung mga ambulation training. Okay? So, sila ay naka-fixed kasi they need to provide maximum stability and safety for our patient. Diba? Isipin nyo na lang sa parallel bars, kung ikaw ay nagpapatraining ng paglakad sa loob nun, dapat matibay at stable po yung bars. Kasi, doon sila magre-rely ng kanilang balance. Kung hindi pa ganun kaganda yung balance nila. Okay? So, again, let's imagine if meron tayong isang patient na na-stroke, hemiplegic siya, meaning half of the body is paralyzed. Then, meron tayong na-receive na instruction from the doctor, okay, to ambulate the patient, okay, weight bearing, pwede nang magbigay ng bigat doon sa paralyzed limb, okay. With that, syempre, we want a stable equipment, di ba? Kasi kung hindi po tayo makakapag-provide or tayo ng isang stable na equipment like this parallel bar, most likely, unstable yung support na maibibigay natin dun sa patient. Okay? The environment can be unsafe and the movement of the patient can be uncontrolled. Okay? Pwede siyang ma-fall, pwedeng matumba, madapa. Okay? So, we have to provide the most stable, okay, most safe equipments, especially dun sa mga ganong type of patients, okay, na merong balance problem, may safety issues, okay, yan. And also, at the same time, these equipments help regain the confidence of your patients, okay. Kasi, before po natin ma-regain ang lakas or yung strength and also the coordination of our patient, it is important that you also regain their confidence in themselves na kaya nilang gawin yung task na pinagagawa mo. Kasi kung hindi, okay, nakikita nila na, oh my God, unstable to, hindi maganda yung kinakapitan ko, then most likely, the task that you want them to do, hindi nila magagawa ng maganda. Okay? Another, if there is a spinal cord injury patient, okay, kunyari nagre-recovery na siya, ang instructions na po ng doctor is on balance, okay, standing exercises. So, itong parallel bars will also help us to assist the patient, especially mga ganitong close guarding, makikita nyo dito sa image, talagang closely, okay, gina-guard niya or ina-assist niya yung patient inside the parallel bar. Okay? At the same time, as a PT, you can position yourself properly, assist the patient safely, okay, if there is possibility of fall, Okay? Pwede mong i-instruct prior to the exercise or the activity. Pwede mong i-instruct si patient na, okay sir, if you feel na mahuhulog kayo, matutumba kayo, kumapit lang po kayo sa parallel bars and just tell me para safe po kayo. Okay? Hindi kayo basta-basta mahuhulog pauna, palikod, or pagilid. Kasi meron tayong stable na equipment na pwedeng tumulong sa atin para hindi kayo babagsak basta-basta. Okay? Yan. So, also, these equipments, again, tulad ng parallel bar, tumutulong ito for progression. Okay? Before ka magpalakad ng isang patient gamit ang isang walker, cane, crutch, whatever assistive device, we usually train them muna inside the parallel bar kasi this is the most stable equipment for ambulation. Okay? So, that's it. Also, for the hydrotherapy tanks, okay, itong mga naka-built-in na hydro tanks, these are also designed for stability, safety, and also controlled rehabilitation. Okay, so again, the success of our treatment is not just in our technique, but also with the equipment that we use to our patients. Now, let's move on to the second type of equipment, which is the movable equipment. The examples that are included are the exercise balls, resistance bands, portable electrotherapy units. Okay? So, unlike fixed equipments, itong mga movable equipments, they are portable, they are flexible, and they're easy to reposition depending on your patient's needs. Okay? So, the key concept here is that if the fixed equipment is for stability, movable equipments naman po is for versatility. Okay? So, let's start with the exercise ball or yung tinatawag natin din na Swiss balls. So, most of this ginagamit natin for core strengthening, for balance training, and for postural control. Okay? So, for example, meron tayong patient with low back pain. So, instead of yung traditional exercises, we use Swiss ball to activate yung core muscles and also to challenge the stability of the trunk. So, why is this equipment movable? Okay? Ano yung prinsipyo ng pagiging movable? Okay? The exercise balls or the Swiss balls, you can use it anywhere. Okay? Nasa gym ka man, nasa gym area, nasa cubicle ka, or nasa treatment area, pwede mo siyang dalhin kahit saan. And they are also, can be adjusted yung difficulty niya. Okay? Kasi mayroong tayong mga Swiss balls na iba't iba yung amount of resistance na binibigay or yung weight. So, you can adjust it easily. Okay? So, for progression, you can start with a sitting exercise, and then you will move to a bouncing exercise to a more dynamic movement. Okay? So, kung mapapansin nyo, isang equipment pa lang yun, yung exercise balls, pero madami na pong nagagamit or madami na siyang silbi, kumbaga. Okay? Next is your resistance bands. So, again, very simple equipment, pero napaka-powerful. Ginagamit natin siya for strengthening, neuromuscular control, also for functional training. Okay? Parang exercise balls din. Okay? So, kumbaga, ang importance lang niya is that, tulad nito, we can advise our patients to buy their own resistance bands kasi gagamitin nila ito sa bahay nila when they do their home exercise programs. Kasi treatment po natin continues even outside the clinic, diba? Hindi lang, ang patient hindi lang nag-exercise yan sa clinic. Dapat outside din. Okay? Nagko-comply sila para mas ma-attain nila yung functional gains na meron from physical therapy. Another example here is your portable electrotherapy units. Okay, makikita nyo yung TENS machine. Okay, yan, yung may mga electrodes, may mga wires. Okay, meron din dyang Ito, yung isa yung mas malaki. It's a bigger machine. Okay, so, yung isa, portable. Then, yung isa ay, although, namumove din siya, pero nakasaksak naman siya sa isa, sa saksakan. Okay, although namumove siya. Okay, so, mahaba naman yung wire niya. So, these, equipments are used for pain modulation, for muscle activation. So, ginagamit madalas siya for mga patients with back pain, leg pain, any kind of pain. Okay, ginagamitan natin ng TENS. Okay, kasi it helps in alleviating the pain or modulating the pain. Okay? So, itong mga movable equipments na ito, they support the continuity of rehabilitation. Diba? So, hindi lang yung mga fixed equipment na for stable, dapat yung mga dynamic movements din ay na-treat din natin or nabibigyang pansin. Okay? So, ano yung big advantage naman ng movable equipment? They are flexible. Okay? Mas cost-effective siya. Okay? It can also be used in different settings. And, yun nga, number one na magandang advantage niya is it can be used in a home-based rehabilitation. Okay? So, for example, meron tayong patient, okay, nasa ward, inpatient, wala dong gym, wala tayong access dun sa gym. So, ano yung pwede nating dalhin? So, yung mga movable equipments natin, resistance band, portable na TENS, or yung mga small equipments na kayang bitbitin. Okay? So, hindi ibig sabihin na may patient for exercise, wala tayong access sa gym, hindi mo na siya ititreat. So, we have to adapt. Okay? So, as PTs, hindi dapat nakadepend lang sa clinic setup. Dapat marunong din po tayo mag-modify, mag-improvise, and mag-adapt. Kasi, hindi lahat po ng patients natin ay nasa ideal environment. And that is where movable equipment becomes a powerful tool in our profession. Okay? Again, let's compare it quickly. Again, pag fixed equipment, stability, and usually it is used in early rehabilitation. Then, pag mga movable equipment, ayan, for flexibility na, pag kailangan mo na mag-progress ng interventions, and, of course, for home use. Okay? Both of them are equally important. Okay? Hindi sila interchangeable, but they are complementary tools for rehabilitation. Okay? So, remember that movable equipment allows you to extend the therapy session beyond the clinic, customize the treatment for mga progression, and to empower your patients. Okay? Yan. Now, let's talk about something very important but often overlooked. Okay? Which is your equipment planning. Okay? Hindi lang ito basta yung anong equipment ang meron. But it's about how you plan, you organize, and you optimize everything for patient care. Kaya we have 3 components presented here, which is first, prepare your checklist, coordinate with an architect, and of course, plan per treatment area. Okay? In the first bullet, okay, which is to prepare a checklist, this means that you need to list down all equipment that you need in the department. So, hindi pwede na, bahala na. Or, kung ano na lang available doon, yun na lang bilhin natin. Okay? Hindi pwedeng ganon. It should be complete, organized, and it should be based on the services that you will offer. Okay? Let's say your clinic handles stroke patients, mga orthopedic rehabilitation patients, sports injuries. So, ano-ano dapat yung mga equipments na meron ka? Dapat may parallel bar ka. Diba? For gait training. May mga treatment table ka, may mga plinths ka, kasi doon mo ipo-perform yung mga manual exercises or manual therapy mo. Okay? Resistance equipments. For mga sports injuries, orthopedic rehab, you need weights, resistance bands, any kind of resistance equipments, and electrotherapy units for pain modulation. Okay? So, kailangan planado kung ano yung services na i-offer mo. Kailangan meron kang type or the right kind of equipment for your services. Okay? So, for example, wala kang parallel bar. Paano ka makakapag-train ng ambulation ng patient mo safely? Diba? So, the preparation, okay, is the foundation of your planning stage. Second is to coordinate with the architect. So, dito, this is where many PTs underestimate their role. Eh, bakit? Kasi hindi lang po architect ang magdi-decide ng layout ng inyong clinic. Hindi lang for the aesthetic ang itsura. You need to communicate to your architect the needs of your clinic. Okay? Let's say you need a space for ambulatory training. Okay? So, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin sa architect mo na, ay, mali ang spacing mo. Masyadong masikip yan. Or unsafe. 'Di ba? Or, paano yung mga electrical outlets? Okay? Kaya may mga isasaksak dyan, ganyan. So, hindi mo magagamit properly yung electrotherapy equipment mo kung walang provided na mga socket dun sa treatment areas. 'Di ba? What if wala siyang nilagay nga na space for exercising, like for gym? Okay? So, hindi ka makakapag-perform ng mga exercises mo. Okay? Hindi naman pwedeng lahat ng exercises ipo-perform ng nasa kama, di ba? Merong kailangan na nakatayo, nakaupo, naglalakad. So, as a PT, you should be able to say, I need ilang outlet dito sa treatment area. I need a specific amount of space here in this area para ito yung gagawin kong gym, storage of equipments, mga ganyan. What else? Kung may mga komplikado kayong machines, so pwede mo sabihin na kailangan po ng ganitong type of setup, amount of space, okay, clearance, okay, for this type of equipment. So basically, you are the content expert of your clinic layout. Okay? Your architect is just translating your need into a design. Okay? Then, third is the plan per treatment area. So, hindi kasi pwedeng halo-halo po yung equipment natin. So, di ba, diniscuss natin dun sa construction planning, kung ano yung mga essential areas po. Di ba? So, you have to divide your clinic into zones. Dapat may evaluation area ka or yung iyong treatment area na rin, yung plinths, meron kang exercise area or the gym area. Madalas, the electrotherapy area is usually inside the cubicle na rin. And, meron ka pang hydrotherapy area. Then, bukod pa yung mga storage mo, CR, etc. Mga ganun. Okay? So, kailangan, you have to plan it. Ano yung laman ng per treatment area. Okay? So, kunyari, if the electrotherapy area is far from the exercise area, usually, magkasama na yan eh. Minsan, habang nagpapa-exercise ka, may kuryenteng nakakabit. Okay? Paano kung masyadong malayo yung space between them? So, sayang yung oras. At the same time, yung workflow nyo is inefficient. Diba? Pabalik-balik ka. Kung pabalik-balik ka, paano pa yung patient mo? Okay? Mapapagod na agad yung patient mo. But, if the area is well planned, the workflow and the patient flow becomes easier and accessible, diba? So, for example, mag-stay muna siya sa evaluation area para i-evaluate mo, i-assess mo And then, after that, after examination and planning of the intervention, let's start with the electrotherapy para po mabawasan ang inyong pain. And then, after that, we can now proceed to the exercise area. Diba? It is smooth, efficient, and safe yung inyong patient. So, equipment planning is not just about the equipment. Diba? Again, it is about patient safety, the efficiency of the therapist, and of course, providing quality of care. Okay, so as future physical therapists, you are not just users of these equipments, okay? You are planners. You are decision makers. So you have to always ask, is this setup safe? Is this efficient? And is this appropriate for my patient? Kasi at the end of the day, good planning is still equal to better outcomes. The next topic is utilities. So, it is defined as a support system po for operations. In simpler terms, ito yung mga systems na hindi mo directly nakikita sa treatment, pero sila po yung nagpapatakbo ng buong PT department. So, it includes electrical, the plumbing, lighting, the healing and cooling systems within your clinic. So, kahit gaano kagaling ang physical therapist, kahit na kompleto lahat ng equipment, if those or these utilities fail, okay, we cannot proceed safely or effectively with our patient treatment. So, first example, electrical failure. Okay, kunyari, gagamit ka ng TENS for pain management and then yung machine mo ay walang kuryente. So, hindi ka makagamit ng electrotherapy. Okay? The treatment plan will be disrupted. So, we have to be ready to adjust our treatment plan. Diba? Next, plumbing issue. Kunyari, merong hydrotherapy services, pero wala ka namang water supply. Tapos, or hindi maganda yung drainage ng inyong hydrotherapy area. So, hindi mo magagamit yung Hubbard tank or yung inyong pool. Or possibly, kung hindi mo yun madidrain ng maganda, magkakaroon tayo ng hygiene issues, diba? So, if there are issues like that, mataas yung risk of infection. Okay? Then, for lighting problems, so imagine niyo naman, madilim ang clinic. Paano po magbabalance ang patients ninyo? Magkakaroon ng balance training kung madilim. Okay? So, ano yung pwedeng mangyari? Pwede silang matumba. So, the environment directly affects the safety of your patients din, di ba? For temperature, if it's too hot or too cold, wala kang aircon, okay, or masyado namang malamig, for example, sa nagsusnow na area yung clinic mo or pinagtatrabahuhan mo, tas wala kayong heating system. Diba? So, what will happen? The patient will be most likely hindi na pupunta, hindi masasatisfy kasi hindi siya komportable doon sa temperature inside your clinic. Okay? Kumbaga, may patient discomfort. At the same time, kunyari, ang training ninyo is medyo mataas yung level of fatigue, tapos sobrang init, so reduce yung performance ng patient ninyo. Diba? Yan. So, we have to provide optimal environment for our patient for better outcomes. So, itong mga utilities na ito, hindi lang siya yung background system natin. They are also part of our treatment environment. Diba? And also, as physical therapists, we must be aware of these systems. Kasi, if ever there are problems, we should be able to identify those problems and adjust our treatment accordingly. Okay? Kaya, in real clinical practice, hindi perfect kasi ang setting lagi. May sirang aircon. may mga faulty na outlet, may mga punding ilaw. Okay? So, with these problems ba, do you have to stop the treatment agad? Of course not. Okay? We have to adapt, but we always prioritize the safety of our patients. Okay? So, again, these utilities, they may seem invisible, but they are essential. Kasi they provide support for our treatment. So, now let's focus first on the electrical system. Okay, so again, this is one of the most critical utilities in the PT department. Kasi the electrical system, they power all the equipment. So, meaning almost everything that we use as physical therapists depends on electricity. Diba? So, without it, number one, hindi tayo makapag-provide ng electrotherapy services. Okay? There are equipments that needs electricity. And, again, they can disrupt our treatment. So, you can look at the examples on the screen, ay mga images. Okay? Meron tayo ditong TENS unit. So, ginagamit siya for pain modulation or pagmamanage ng chronic pain. Okay? So, we apply this to reduce the pain and improve yung participation po ng ating patients during exercise. But, here's the important part. If the electrical system is faulty, most likely we will be able to provide incorrect delivery of the current and possibly it can cause harm or discomfort to our patients. Okay? Although meron tayong mga portable equipments, but nalolobat din siya and meron naman siyang provided na parang adapter na pwede nating plug and use siya. Okay? So, we must ensure na safe and properly functioning pa rin itong mga equipments na ito. Another example is the tilt table. So, yung patient na nakahiga on the table, nakikita nyo dyan, and then, unti-unti po siyang ine-elevate yung head of the bed. Okay? So, ginagamit po ito for early mobilization, for orthostatic training, and sa mga neurological patient. Okay? So, ang purpose kasi nito is to gradually elevate the patients, okay, to improve yung circulation and to train yung tolerance nila in the upright position. Okay? Although may mga tilt table tayo na manually powered, meron ding electrically powered kasi mas madaling gamitin po yun. Hindi mo manually iikot yung elevation ng table. So, what if, again, there is power failure? Pwede pong biglang tumigil yung tilt table. Okay? Pwedeng maging unstable yung mismong equipment and there is risk, okay, dun sa safety ng ating patient. Okay? Ano pa example dito? It's the, ito nasa pinakababa, it's your call system. So, ginagamit natin siya for patient communication and mga emergency alerts, especially yung mga patients natin na mataas ang fall risk. 'Di ba? Meron tayong pwedeng, may mga nakaano dyan may mga naka-set up na button, emergency buttons, if ever na merong mga patient na biglang na-fall, okay, during training, tapos kailangan mo ng tulong, pipindutin mo lang yun para may mga staff na magre-respond sa'yo. So, what if wala tayong electrical system na maganda? So, delayed yung response and most likely it will result to a more extensive type of injury. So, again, this is not just for convenience, but it is also life-saving for your patients. So, your electrical system must follow the safety standards. Dapat it is properly installed. Okay? So, kaya we also consult with architects and engineers, okay, for the wiring po ng ating mga clinics. Okay? So, dapat tama rin yung voltage na gamit mo. Okay, yung mga equipments, you have to check anong type of voltage ang ginagamit. Kung, kunyari, 110, 220, ayan. And of course, dapat may regular maintenance din. Okay, so as physical therapist, hindi naman ikaw yung mag-i-install. Okay, but you are responsible po for checking, okay, before use of those equipments, and if there are issues, ikaw din ang responsible for reporting it, and syempre, kailangan ipagawa. Okay? Hindi man ikaw magpapagawa. Kumbaga, i-report mo, syempre, doon sa, kunyari, sa may-ari ng hospital or doon sa anong department, engineering department, na may faulty equipment, then sila po yung mag-check nun. Okay? Another point here is yung grounding. Okay? Yan. It means, di ba, pag grounding, yung excessive electrical current is safely directed away. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng laging exposed. Dapat malayo kung saan sa maraming taong gumagalaw. Okay? Kasi, pwede tayong magkaroon ng risk of electrical shock or magkaroon ng equipment malfunction. Gumagamit pa naman tayo ng mga electrodes sa ating patient. So, if there is faulty grounding, okay, there is direct risk to our patient. So, always remember, before using mga electrical equipment, you have to check the equipment, check the outlet, and also check safety. Okay? So, always remember that. Okay? If there are loose wires, mga overloaded na outlets, or mga malfunctioning na devices, do we ignore it? Of course not. Okay? We have to stop. We have to address it kasi the patient's safety comes first. Okay? So, may mga ganyang tanong din sa sa board exam kung hindi ako nagkakamali. Okay? May mga faulty na equipments, what will you do? Mga ganun type of question. Now, next is the plumbing system, which is another essential utility in physical therapy because of hydrotherapy. Okay? So, kailangan ito especially sa water supply, sa pagdidrain, okay, and for sanitation. Okay? Kasi, dun nga, pag may provided ka na hydrotherapy interventions, kunyari ay pool therapy, Hubbard tanks, gumagamit kayo niyan. So, syempre, dapat may proper supply of water, drainage, and proper cleaning of the equipment. Okay? So, makikita natin dito sa lower left image, merong pool, 'di ba? May whirlpool, may hydrotherapy tank. So, lahat yan nakadepende sa plumbing system. Okay? Unang-una, meron ba tayong adequate water pressure? Okay? Kasi kailangan may continuous na water flow, pati may proper agitation yung inyong hydrotherapy tank. Kasi your hydrotherapy, it helps with relaxation of the muscle and improve circulation. So, kung mahina yung water pressure mo, hindi effective yung treatment, most likely, there is poor therapeutic effect doon sa patient mo. Diba? So, hindi ka na ineffective yung binibigay mo hydrotherapy service. Next, if yung proper drainage, syempre, kunyari, nag-whirlpool ka ng sugat. May patient na for debridement using a whirlpool, tas hindi mo na-drain ng ayos yung whirlpool. So, magkakaroon ka ng hygiene issues dyan. Infection. Pwedeng yung susunod na gumamit, hindi mo siya naayos, na-sanitize ng maayos. Tas yung susunod na gumamit, pwede siyang ma-infect. Diba? So, after hydrotherapy session, if poor yung drainage, pwedeng mag-accumulate ang tubig. Ano pa? So, magiging slippery yung area mo. Okay? So, mataas yung risk of madulas or, again, infection. Lagi, pag sa tubig, yun ang pinaka-common problem. Okay? Risk of infection. So, again, as PT, you are responsible for maintaining a safe environment Kasi hindi lang exercise ang trabaho mo, but also you have to ensure the safety of your patients, yourself, and siyempre of the whole area. Then, third and very critical is your temperature control. So, we are dealing with water. So, the water temperature must be controlled. It should be safe and appropriate for your patient's condition. Okay? So, example, mayroon kang patient na elderly, then alam naman natin with elderly, decrease na yung sensation, mas sensitive na sila sa temperature. So, if the water is too hot, pwede silang ma-burn. If it's too cold naman, pwede magkaroon ng discomfort or muscle stiffness. Okay? Then, siguro mapapag-aralan nyo din naman in the future sa physical agents, yung effect ng heat and ng cold. Okay? So, for example, meron tayong acute inflammation, babago-bago pa lang na namamaga. Okay? So, heat, it worsens swelling. So, dapat alam natin ano yung tamang temperature when dealing with inflammation. Diba? So, we have to know yung hindi lang about the effects of water, but yung type of therapeutic environment na binibigay ng hydrotherapy. Okay? So, we have to plan the hydrotherapy session properly. Okay? Because again, it can delay treatment, it can give dissatisfied patient, or madidisrupt na naman yung workflow natin. Now, let's talk about lighting. Okay, at first, di ba, kung isipin natin, ano ba naman yan, Doc? Ilaw lang yan. Okay? But, lighting plays a very important role po in patient safety, comfort, and treatment effectiveness. Okay? Una-una, dapat it avoids glare. Glare means yung sobrang liwanag or yung ilaw na nakakasilaw. Okay? So, hindi dapat ganong type of ilaw. Kasi what if nakahiga yung patient mo dun sa treatment table? Okay? Paano kung yung direct light is hitting their eyes? So, it can provide discomfort, irritation, or pwedeng hindi makapag-focus ng ayos ang inyong patients during exercise kasi nakakasilaw yung ilaw. Diba? Another is, kunyari, nagbabalance training kayo, tapos, nasilaw ulit siya. So, most likely, pwedeng directly affect ito sa safety ng inyong patient. Okay? Second, adjustable lighting is preferred kasi again, not all patients need the same lighting level. Diba? During evaluation, ano bang kailangan mo? Do you need a dim light or do you need a bright light? Kailangan mo ng a brighter light kasi you're doing evaluation, examination. Okay? What if you are providing relaxation therapy naman? So, kailangan natin ng softer lighting. Okay? So, kaya dapat flexible po ang lighting system ninyo. Okay? Kasi nga, again, the environment should be able to provide safety, satisfaction. Okay? Diba, if mataas ang comfortability level ng inyong mga patient, it will also lead to higher satisfaction rate of your patient. Okay? So, briefly discuss lang din ulit natin yung heating and cooling system. Okay, so ang main function po nito is simple lang. It's to maintain an optimal temperature po in the PT environment. Okay, so why is this important? Kasi again, your temperature directly affects how your patients respond to treatment. So, if the environment or yung clinic mo is too cold, so most likely, the patient's muscle will become stiff. Hindi nila makakapag-exercise properly. If it's too hot naman, okay, your patients might fatigue easily. So, both type of environment can negatively affect the performance of your patient during therapy. So, let's say, for example, you're doing stretching, strengthening, or mga gait training. So, what if malamig yung paligid? So, parang taas nung temperature ng aircon mo. Okay? Mas nagiging tight ang muscles, mas mahirap mag-move ang patient. Paano pag mainit naman? Madaling mapagod yung patient mo, pawis na. So, pwede lang mag-quit, ma-fatigue. So, decrease yung tolerance nila to exercise. Okay? Kanina yung na-discuss natin regarding hydrotherapy. 'Di ba? If the water temperature and the room temperature, okay, is too hot or too cold, pwedeng makaapekto sa patient performance. Okay? So, if masyadong malamig yung room, so pwedeng again, uncomfortable or lamigin yung patient mo. If it's too warm, pwedeng ma-burn ang patient dun sa water. Okay? So, again, this is not just a simple system. But, again, we have to be aware of the environment kasi, again, it directly affects the outcome of your patient and your treatment. So, next topic is the importance of communication system. So, in healthcare setting, especially po sa PT, communication systems are directly linked to patient safety. Kasi first, we have to ensure the patient's safety. Meaning, many of our patient po kasi are full risk, post-operative, kakatapos lang po ng surgery, or they are weak or unstable. So, if our patient tries to stand, di ba, without assistance, okay, pwede silang gumamit ng mga call system para ma-alert yung mga staff and meron agad magre-respond sa kanila. So, if wala, mas mataas po yung risk of fall or injury. Kaya, importante po talaga ang communication system, especially sa mga bigger na hospitals. Okay? Kasi it will prevent accidents po talaga. Then, second is staff coordination. Okay? So, in a PT department, especially kung marami kayong therapists, may mga assistants, and other healthcare professional, the communication system helps in relaying the information quickly, coordination of treatment, and improve the workflow. Okay? For example, kailangan mo ng assistance for transfers. So, instead of leaving the patient alone, pwede kang mag-press lang ng button, okay, to call for help immediately. And lastly is your emergency response. So, in case lang of emergency, like the patient collapse, there is sudden intense severe pain na biglang nangyari sa patient nyo, or may mga medical complications, you can use your communication systems for immediate alert and for faster responses. Kasi this can be life-saving. Okay? So, remember your communication systems, they are not just for convenience, but they ensure safety, efficiency, and rapid response. Okay? So, as PTs, we work with vulnerable patients po, so we have to have clear and effective communication po sa ating organization. So, in short, good communication will lead to safer patients. So, makikita po natin on this slide the different types of communication system that can be used in the PT department. We have telephones, intercoms, patient call systems, CCTV, and mga pneumatic tubes. So, each of this, they have a specific role po in ensuring a smooth and safe operations within your system or your organization. So, tulad ng telephones, usually they are used for external communication, 'di ba? Pag makikipag-coordinate ka with other departments like yung mga physician, sa RadTex, nurse station, okay, sa nutrition department for example. So, instead of leaving your patient alone, kung kailangan mo po ng tulong, then you can call directly gamit po ang itong mga telephone system na ito. For intercom, usually ginagamit to pag mga internal communication within the department kung masyadong malaki yung area ninyo. Okay? If you need assistance from another therapist, pwede kang mag-buzz lang ng inyong intercom. Then, pwede na po siyang mag-respond ng mas mabilis. Then, for patient call systems, usually yan, makikita nyo yung nasa upper left na image. Okay, di ba may mga buttons sa mga inpatient, pag sa mga wards, may mga call button. Okay, kung saan pe-press lang ni patient, then maa-alert na yung mga staff. Yan. So, may mga patients tayo na gustong mag CR, kailangan ng tulong doon sa mga nurses. Yan. So, pwede nilang pindutin yung mga call button na yan. Then, for CCTV naman, okay, for CCTV, syempre ginagamit ito for monitoring ng gym area, hydrotherapy area, or yung ating mga treatment areas. Okay? So, if your patient is doing exercise independently, so, if talagang kaya na nila maging independent dun sa exercise intervention, then, pwede mo silang iwanan. Then, kung may kukunin ka, o at least may area doon ng CCTV, alam mo na safe siya. Okay? So, at the same time, you are allowing supervision. Okay? Kahit na you are handling another patient, okay, okay lang naman yun. Basta make sure that your patient is or can perform independently the intervention. Then, lastly, is tong mga pneumatic tube system. So, usually, kung nakita na kayo sa movies ng ganito, okay, these are used to send mga documents, small items, or yung mga lab results between department lang, ha? Okay? Kasi ito, pinakamabilis na way for sending the patient records quickly. So, may mga connected tubes, okay? Within iba't ibang department. So, kung may kailangan kang type of document, isi-send lang nila. Okay? Kesa bababa pa sila ng stairs, elevator, or what. Diyan na lang. May mga ganyan. Okay? So, they don't need to physically walk to another department. So, most likely, it improves the workflow and, of course, it saves time. So, when you look at all these systems, they support communication, coordination, safety, and also the efficiency. So, hindi lang siya mga extra feature kasi it's also part of delivering quality patient care. Okay? So, remember that each system has a role, but all of them has to work together. Okay? And as a PT, you must know how to use them properly. Kasi, again, good communication will lead to better teamwork, safer patients, and mas efficient yung treatment mo. Okay? So, a well-communicated team is a safe and effective team. So, another important communication system is your patient safety systems. Specifically po, yung annunciator or a call system. Okay, this is one of the most important systems in any healthcare setting because the concept is simple. Okay, if a patient, for example, presses a button, a signal will be sent and the staff is alerted. Okay, it can be through a sound, a light, or pwedeng both. So, kahit yung patient, hindi niya kayang maglakad or hindi niya kayang magsalita or magsabi ng tulong, for example, they can still ask for help. So, di ba if naalala nyo kanina, yung previous slide, meron tayong patient call system. Most of the time is yung call button na ipipress lang. Okay? So, pagka-press nila nun, pwedeng mag-flash dun sa screen or pwedeng may sound din nakasama na kunyari ay room 3 kailangan ng assistance. Okay? Or nag-buzz siya, for example, ng nurse. Okay? So, pwede po sa aspect naman ng PT, pwede mo itong gamitin if meron kang mga patients na mobility impaired. they are weak or unstable. Okay? Usually, yung mga high risk for fall na patient or high risk for accidents, okay, sila naman yung binibigyan natin ng mga call button. Yan. Ang pinaka basic na na-experience ko is, alam niyo yung bell, yung pang-ice cream. So, or yung tinatap na call na bell. So, pwede mo yung ibigay sa mga patients mo. For example, ay upo, meron kang hot compress na in-apply. If they need your attention immediately, so pwede nilang i-press yung bell or ikalugin lang yung bell to call for your attention. Okay? Instead of sumigaw sila, 'di ba? Or hindi sila makagalaw agad, hindi nila matanggal kung ano man yung equipment na uncomfortable para sa kanila, they can use that bell. Okay? So, the annunciator or kahit na anong call system, it's not a device. Again, it's not just a device, sorry, but it's also a safety tool, okay, for immediate communication, faster response, and prevention of accidents.